Hey guys, this is Kelly James with DoLessProfitMore.com, where we help real estate and tax professionals automate their sales process. And today we're going to be talking about Monday.com CRM. I absolutely love the CRM platform. Now, there are more robust CRM platforms out there, but what I love about Monday.com CRM is it's built into Monday.com, and a lot of my clients use Monday.com for project management. So it really helps to kind of have everything in one space. So I wanted to just go over real quick, just a quick intro on setting up your CRM, and we'll go more in depth in other videos, but I want to just get you started. Okay. So when you're in Monday.com, you should have your main workspace. You can do it under your main workspace, or you can add a workspace. We're just going to leave it under the main workspace, but you can't add a workspace here. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and click add, and we're going to go to choose from templates, because they do have an awesome template for real estate actually that's fairly new, right? So it'll be here and it'll say use and preview. Now you can preview it, but we're just going to go ahead and hit use because I already know what it looks like. So we're going to go ahead and hit that. And by the way, there are other CRM setups. They're pretty similar, but real estate is very specific to real estate. And that's my clientele that I work with. So we're going to go into that. So here we go. All right. So we're going to click use, and it's going to think about it. And boom. Okay, so what I wanted to make sure I cover with you guys is the basic setup. Now this all will pop up. This is a CRM Learning Center. You don't have to keep this. You can view this and delete it. Obviously your team doesn't need to see that, or yourself if you're just using it by yourself. And then it has an agency dashboard. Now the problem with my team, a lot of this really didn't apply to how they wanted their CRM set up. So we didn't keep any of this, but I'll just go over it with you real quick, okay? So for this particular template, you have your property listings, and they've built in some things here that you can have potential buyers, listing time, all things that would be important or potentially important to you, square footage. All of that is already built in, and you don't have to do anything, and you can keep these and use these right out of the box. This is how it looks right out of the box. It adds up your price, your square footage, all of that's added up and calculated for you. Contacts, we're tracking potential leads, so not necessarily listings, but potential leads and other contacts. So maybe you're dealing with a broker, maybe there's just another client, or some examples here. They have, a couple examples, and you can do with that what you will. Okay. Now, what I wanted to show you, oh, by the way, the CRM Learning Center, they'll teach you all about, and they give you a really cool checklist to make sure that you have everything up and running. And your agency dashboard, now you can customize this to do whatever you would like, but out of the box, this is what it tracks. Your listings, new listing deals by month. So it's a really, really cool setup, okay? So again, it's really going to be up to you how you set that up, you and your team, or you by yourself, okay? Now, what I really wanted to make sure that I cover with you is a couple of things that you need to consider when you do your CRM. So number one, you're going to have to invite people to your board for them. If you have a team like we do, you're going to have to invite people to the board so they can be assigned here. Okay. That's important. Secondly, you do not have to keep these columns. And it's really important for my clients to customize. So just know you don't have to keep these columns. You can add columns, or you can take away columns if they don't fit what you're looking for. And the way that you add a column is you click here, and they'll have essential and super useful, and there's even more things that you can actually add, okay? Now we can really go down the rabbit hole with this. So for the sake of time, remember this is just a quick intro. I'm not gonna go down the rabbit hole. I'm just gonna show you a couple of basics that I use for this last customization, okay? So the first thing, we already have status on this one, and I'm going to go over to contacts actually, because we're working mainly with potential leads. Okay, so basically here it has our priority, type, phone number, email, the basics, and link to the property. Okay, so what we can do here is we have these options. Now, one of the things that I wanted to add is obviously a lot of these are pretty self-explanatory. And again, you'll be able to customize the way that you want. But what I really wanted to make sure that I mentioned was that sometimes they don't have what you need. There's not anything in there that fits the field that you want. And all you have to do is just create a text column, and then you can just change this to whatever you want it to be. So if you want this to be, I don't know, dog, maybe they have a dog, and then you can type that information in there. There's even other little options here that you can choose, little icons that you can do to indicate. So maybe you just want it to be a checkbox or something. There you go. So you can actually have that option, and you can put those in as custom. Okay. Again, you can delete these, you can change these out. So I found the text box to be very useful. Let's see if there's anything else in here that I think most of these are already attached to your thing here. We have long text, add large amounts of text without changing your column width. I use text most of the time. This was just address and names and little things that we needed to do. You can connect data from another board. You can show and edit columns data from connected boards. This one is really good because you do want to, sometimes you may have another board, say for example, between properties and your potential leads boards, you can actually add that as a column. Okay. Files was very useful. So if there's a file, a contract or something that you need to have added, you can actually have that here. And it gives you the option. You can do it from a link, Google Drive. You can even create a new document, which is a new feature that they have, where you can actually create a document right here within Monday.com. So it's a really cool tool. I think anytime you need a CRM, you need something that you can customize. One of the questions that I have, well, what about history? Like, well, how do I go about looking at the overall history? And I thought that was a really good question. So all you have to do is once you start working this lead, well, first of all, when you get ready to work a lead, you're going to go here and click open. And it'll show emails, activities, all the information here. You'll see updates. You'll see activity log. So all of that information will be here for you. So you'll be able to do that for your overall history. So again, it's a really good tool. And again, the reason why I love it is if you already have Monday.com, if you're already going to use Monday.com, why not take advantage of this until you're ready to buy a more robust CRM? CRMs can get very, very expensive. And since you're already going to be using this platform, this is a really good way to manage your leads and customize it the way you want. And that's another thing I really like, is that sometimes some of the platforms that my real estate agents or tax professionals are working with, it's really structured, it's really rigid, and they can't really get what they want. So being able to go in here and customize exactly the way you want it to look and exactly how you want it to work out for you and your team is priceless, and it's no additional cost for you at all. So if you already have the platform, why not take advantage of this powerful tool? So anyway, that is just an intro. I'm going to be doing more in-depth, going over some of the different columns that you can add and beef this thing up and make it really powerful. So stay tuned for that. But let me know if you like this video. Make sure you subscribe, share, like, do all of that, because it all matters. It helps me to put a couple of pennies in my pocket someday, right? So anyway, you guys have an awesome day. Take care.